The Eternal takes the use of cliffhangers to a new level. As we eagerly await the second season of Netflix's new Argentine sci-fi series, we are left with more questions than answers. The first season concludes just as protagonist Juan Salvo discovers the true cause of the end of the world. The show takes a lot of creative licenses to make the tale work. As a result, the comics might not have all the answers, which just makes everyone more intrigued about what happens next. Juan Salvo finds out the truth right before season 1 of the Eternaut ends. The blizzard was intended to kill most of the population and drive survivors against each other, while the bugs were meant to abduct survivors instead of killing them. It turns out that everything that has transpired thus far is part of an extraterrestrial invasion of Earth. In the season finale, Salvo witnesses an army of mind-controlled individuals while gazing over a park, the horrifying next step. They arrive earlier, driving Salvo and his gang out of their headquarters and trapping Inga and their colleagues while they examine a wrecked jet in the midst of Buenos Aires. An extraterrestrial entity with many digits on its hands. The Hand is conducting the mind-controlled humans like an orchestra. Underneath the luminous covering of the Hand, Salvo identifies it as the true enemy, citing its ability to manage individuals. But is it truly? The huge bugs are gathering people into an audience in front of the gazebo where the Hand is standing when Salvo spots them. Although it appears that the Hand is more involved in working with the bugs than commanding them, no bugs stop acting independently when the Hand conducts. Only humans respond. Since this is the case, one must wonder, is the Hand truly responsible for creating everything? Is it the same as the bugs, just another cog in a wheel that someone else controls? While the Hand is just as strange and terrifying in the comics as it is on the show, though up to this point we have only seen its hands, it isn't the main antagonist. Surprisingly, it's the lieutenant of a bigger army that's under the command of an alien race called them. In the original, the bugs are even mind-controlled and reduced to cannon fodder using a gadget attached to their necks. However, we haven't seen anything similar in the series, which makes us think it would tackle the invasion from a different angle. One of the most shocking plot developments in the Eternal thus far is the death of Lucas, and the gloomy setting only adds to the shock. An eerie and dazzling light comes from the River Plate Stadium in the distance, with dark storm clouds collecting over it, as Salvo and Favali stand atop a skyscraper in downtown Buenos Aires. Unfortunately, we won't get a look at the stadium's goings-on until the season ends, even if Salvo was already captivated by them and eventually parted ways with Tenno to investigate. The fact that the Hand is also concealed by the park's lighting suggests that the stadium may have served as the aliens' headquarters. Given that it is a fenced-in and heavily defended area adjacent to a river, cutting off possible land access from opponents, it is not a bad idea from a strategic standpoint. It also features the buildings and utilities needed to set up a minor airport, command center, jail, etc. Furthermore, this would not be the first instance in South America where a stadium has been used as a tool of oppression by an oppressive power. For instance, in the 1970s, the Chilean military dictatorship captured the Estadio Nacional and transformed it into a massive prison and torture facility. The ominous clouds floating above it are likely extraterrestrials using it as a portal. The human army, on the other hand, congregates in the stadium in the comics, where they take protection in the massive stands from the aliens' dreadful weaponry, particularly their light thrower guns. Since the comics were created before stadiums were exploited as tools of evil in South America, the series inversion of this is a subtle tribute. A huge alien fight also happens at the stadium, with unexpected and tragic repercussions for Juan Salvo, his loved ones, and his companions. The drama level is heightened by the suggestion that Juan Salvo is a River Plate supporter. Juan Salvo passes out and has numerous odd visions throughout the show. Typically, they go back and forth between scenes from his time fighting in the 1982 Malvinas War and more sinister ones, such as a church on fire or a meteor shower above Buenos Aires. Initially, he thinks he's suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, related to his military service, particularly because he has to battle and handle weapons again due to his current situation. The fact that he says he has already lived through the alien invasion in the season finale further shrouds his visions in mystery. This is a plot point from the comics that the show uses to further elucidate Salvo's vital role in the plot. He is obviously the main character, and the way he is having flashbacks to his past and future life reminds me of films like Arrival and Slaughterhouse-Five, where characters get unstuck in time and can experience events in a different sequence. It would not be surprising at all if Salvo became a time traveler in the Eternaut, a science fiction novel including aliens and potentially other dimensions, thanks to the portal located above the stadium. This does not occur in the comics, though. The last unsolved mystery is whether the visions are his mind adjusting to future Salvo, seeing those situations again.